Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the program Islam Explained. We are continuing with our questions that are put forward by our viewers. So we'll get right into it. Thank you, Omar, for being here again.
Thank you.
Our question is today from one of our viewers is that why does God create or allow evil on earth?
God forbid that someone could claim that God creates evil and allows it. The reality is this. There's a formula that one famous scholar uses. The creation of evil is not evil, but the committing of evil is evil. So what that really actually means, God may create something for many, many purposes. Like, for example, if we give the example of a fire that we usually use. Now, God creates fire for many beneficial purposes. You know, you can cook your meals on it. You can use it as light. You can use it as energy. You can use it to warm yourself up. But if someone goes and sticks their hand into the middle of the fire and then burns themselves, can they claim that God has created evil? So it has many multi-purposes. If you analyze the nature, you will see very similar analogies to this as well. You know, like for example, rain. Rain we call rahmah. You know, it's a mercy that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God himself. And without rain, there would be no life on earth. Life cannot sustain itself without rain, without water.
Yeah.
But for example, if a certain area, certain location, a farm, receives too much rain and all the crops are destroyed, can that farmer come up and claim that the creation of rain is evil?
Yeah, definitely not.
They would not have that right to say that. So by that formula, we have to understand that God creates things for many, many purposes. One of those purposes we might believe, or it might appear to us as evil. We cannot use just that purpose and say, you know, God creates evil. In reality, this is the reality. God in Islam, we say, khayri wa sharri min Allah ta'ala. He creates both good and evil. But as I said, creation of evil is not evil, but the committing evil is evil. Yeah, for example, if a human being decides with his or her own free will to commit an evil, because no living being or other beings we can think of, if there are any, you know, in the universe, no being has the power to create except God himself. So with human beings, we cannot even create our own actions. So when we decide to commit an act, whether if it's good or evil, if it's an evil act, God will still create it. Why does he create? Because God does not negate our free will. Then there would be no test on earth. So he creates it because we requested it. We acquired it. So who is responsible for the creation of that evil? Human being.
The person that initially wanted it.
Yeah, because we want it to happen. We want to commit it. He creates it because the universe follows a certain cause and effect. And God, that's the way God created it. So we decide, we intend, and God creates the action. So we can say that the creation of evil is not evil, but the acting or committing evil is evil. So from an Islamic perspective, there is no problem with theodicy. You know how they say problem of evil?
Yeah.
In Islam, there's no such a thing as problem of evil because God creates everything upon the request of human beings.
Oh, thank you very much, Omar. That was very well addressed, that question. And I'd like to thank our viewers again, and we'll see you next time on our show. And if you have any other questions, please do write to the email below. Thank you.